less than 45 miles from the border. While Russian authorities insist that the maneuvers are simply scheduled training, recent Russian moves in Ukraine and Abkhazia have made the Estonians and Latvians increasingly nervous. Estonian Prime Minister Evelyn Ainsalu has repeatedly requested support from both the United States and the European Defense Council. Russia issues new protest over U.S. deployments to Poland. Russian Ambassador Yevgeny Suvorin repeated the Kremlin's protests about U.S. military deployments to Poland when he met with Secretary of State Gordon today. Quote, "Given the tensions that exist in Eastern Europe at this time, placing additional NATO troops in a country that has grown increasingly hostile to Russia cannot be seen as anything but adding fuel to the fires of instability in a Europe that is already suffering." End quote. In the press conference afterward, Suvorin refused to answer questions about Russian moves in Ukraine. Night clashes across Saudi border as violence increases in Anbar. Artillery fire thundered over the Iraq-Saudi Arabia border last night, while Iranian Ozarach ground-attacked aircraft bombed Saudi positions near King Khalid military city. Unconfirmed reports suggest ground incursions near Rafah and Saudi attacks north into Kuwait. Meanwhile, a new rash of bombings across Ramadi, Fallujah, and Baghdad targeted Iraqi security forces and Shia civilians. Turkish forces consolidate gains in Iraqi Kurdistan. Kurdish Peshmerga attacks on Turkish positions near Zaka were beaten back yesterday, while fighting in Dahuk continued, with Turkish forces having secured approximately half the city so far. Turkish forces are pushing out of Soran as well, though Peshmerga forces have successfully ambushed a column making its way through the Ali Bag Canyon. There are unconfirmed reports of hundreds of civilians being slaughtered in Soran in retaliation for Peshmerga attacks on Turkish headquarters in the area. KRG officials have asked for assistance from the United States, but there are reports that they have approached the Islamic Republic of Iran for help as well. French and Belgian crackdown. European Defense Council security forces continued their roundup of far-right groups following the burning of 3 South Asian enclaves outside of Paris and one in Brussels. Some commentators have remarked that the EDCSF are not discriminating between traditionalist groups and true extremists, but the EDC denies it, insisting that there is no longer any room in Europe for nationalist violence. When questioned about the connection between the burning of the enclaves and the rash of bombings and truck attacks across Brussels, Antwerp, Reims, Metz, and Paris the week before, EDC spokesperson Clara Hausler refused to answer and ended the press conference. Senator Billings killed in bombing. In the third such killing in the last 6 months, Senator Tyrone Billings of Michigan was killed by a VBIED outside his Ann Arbor home last night. This comes after 3 months of threats following Billings' vote against S-8853, the hate speech law that would bring the U.S. into line with European Union standards. Most of Senator Billings' security was killed in the blast. Police have no leads. Shots exchanged in Slovakia. American peacekeepers exchanged fire with European Defense Council troops in the Slovak town of Slovenský Grab early yesterday. While the Pentagon insists that the brief firefight between U.S. Marines and a Swedish contingent of the EDCAF was a case of mistaken identity, the EDC has issued official protests and demanded the U.S. ground commander be harshly disciplined. Reports that the Marines were attempting to intervene in what some have described as a massacre in progress have been dismissed by all official spokespeople. However, what appears to be photo evidence has already leaked to the internet, purporting to be images of Swedish troops watching as militia rounds up Slovak citizens and lines them up against walls, with other dead bodies in the background. The Pentagon has refused to comment, while EDC spokesperson Raymond Thibault has denounced the photos as blatant forgeries. Pentagon reporters confirm that the Marine unit has been recalled from Slovakia and is currently in Germany, in transit back to the United States. Chapter 1. The bad guys suddenly started moving about an hour after sunrise.